Consecrate yourself to Jesus through Mary. Click on the link below.
God's mercy. All of us want God's mercy. But what's the best way that God's mercy penetrates us, that we're reconciled, that God forgives us of any fault, any sin? Today's gospel magnificently answers this question. Dear brothers and sisters, today St. Matthew gives us the solution of how to receive God's mercy. I tell you, unless your righteousness surpasses that of the scribes and Pharisees, you will not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Why is that? It's because the scribes and Pharisees, they thought that they were magnificent. And even when they committed faults or sins or transgressions, it was very difficult for them to ask their neighbor, to ask their brother, to ask their sister for forgiveness. So God's mercy didn't penetrate into them. That's why they were scolded by Jesus for not being righteous. And then he says, you have heard that what is said to your ancestors, you shall not kill, and whoever kills will be liable to judgment. But there's different ways of killing. And he says, if you call someone raka, it was like an idiot, or if you will be answerable to the Sanhedrin. Therefore, the judge, the religious judge, will have to give you a penalty. But he says, whoever says you fool will be liable to fiery Gehenna. Therefore, a person is in the risk of going down the slope to hell, to the fires of hell, if they're always treating others as fools. Therefore, they're the only one who knows everything and considers everything that in their sight is perfect, right? The way that they see things is the perfect way of doing things. And then he says, therefore, if you bring your gift to the altar, therefore, if you consider yourself religious and that you're worshiping, that you go to church, that you go to Mass, and you offer God some goods, you offer God your prayers, he says, first of all, in order for that to be agreeable to God, what do you have to do? Go first and reconcile yourself with your brother, and then come and offer your gift. So we have a call here to receive God's mercy. The best way that God will consider us in his infinite mercy is that we reconcile ourselves with our brothers and sisters, with our neighbor. And therefore, if we have any flaw in our relationship with others, we have to fix that situation. We have to atone that situation. We have to reconcile. It's so easy to say, please forgive me. I can even write a little note, a little letter, and saying, you know what, last year or last month or last week or yesterday, that would even be better. We shouldn't leave these things for a long time. We should reconcile ourselves right away when we do something wrong. Even if we offend a parent, a mother, a father, or a relative, or there's ways of reconciling ourselves with our children as well. Not to say, listen, I'm going to ask for pardon and kneeling down, but there's a way of giving them a small gift and saying, listen, that which we talked about, forget that. Mom loves you so much. Dad loves you so much. There's a way of doing that, because if not, what's going to happen? If you don't settle your situations, you're going to be put in prison. You're going to have to spend in that, being guarded, being excluded from God's mercy until you pay the last penny. So it's much easier to reconcile ourselves with our neighbor, with our friends, or with those whom we maybe consider even enemies. And then, yes, God's mercy, our offering will be agreeable to him. Let's not let this Lent go by without receiving all of the mercy of Jesus through the intercession of Mary and our guardian angels. And may the blessing of Almighty God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit come upon you and remain with you forever. Salve Maria.